I'm really delighted to be representing Pobal here today along with other members of the team because we have been so excited to be part of this joint initiative with Kevin and his department which has led to the implementation of My Journey Distance Travelled tool. So today is an important day for all of us and all of those who have been involved in its development. So, as you will be aware, many of you, it is a statistically validated tool that measures the soft skills that play a key part in progressing into employment, education and training, and enhancing a person's personal development. It supports the PsyCap individuals or the participants in the PsyCap programs to understand their strengths better and increase self-awareness of aspects of their life that they would like to develop. So it's positive in its focus. It also supports the frontline staff and the providers with their work, assessing needs, putting together plans to address these, and using that information to identify gaps locally. As many of you will be aware, Pobal is an organisation committed to social inclusion. It's at the heart of who we are and what we do, and embedded in our history and our tradition. My Journey is closely aligned to our overall vision, mission and strategic goals. Pobal supports local and national community organisations in their delivery of all government funded services. And we also support government in its decision making and its setting of their programme priorities. We provide supports to enhance social inclusion and equality for the most marginalised, and My Journey, we believe, will enrich and contribute to this work and that dialogue. I joined Pobal in August 2019, and I suppose I was very struck regarding the scope and impact of social inclusion and community activation programmes and its unique qualities as a programme. With the focus on achieving social inclusion and community development, because developing the community and supporting the individual in the context of their locality, their society, their peers is just so important. The development of My Journey at that time was well underway, so I take absolutely zero credit for anything other than to be proud to be part of the organisation that was part of it with the department and all the other agencies that drove it. I suppose what what is really important about the My Journey is the collaborative approach with the sector and with the individuals, the men, the women, the service users, and the potential that this tool has to make a difference, a significant difference for those individuals, to support the staff who are working with those users, the service providers and the policymakers. Paul has referenced that my previous experience has been working in disability, social care and mental health. I know you'll find it very difficult to believe, but I have 4 decades of experience under my belt. I was 3 when I started. But in that context, I am really mindful of the importance, my personal experience, my professional experience, is the importance of the person-centred approach. So in the world that I came from, person-centred planning was a really core part of the work undertaken by organisations and individuals. And I see the My Journey tool and the work of its social inclusion and community activation programmes as being no different, supporting men and women to be part of and intrinsically linked and supported by their local community to achieve the best possible outcomes and achieve their potential. So for me, person-centred planning can be defined as discovering how a person wants to live, talking to them to get to know and to understand what is important to them, and using this information to plan for them and with them to achieve the best results for them as an individual. My Journey in this context works as a person-centred support. It'll help community services to support their work with individuals and measure change. It means that the depth of what is delivered through the social inclusion and community activation programme and the richness of that experience can be better captured and perhaps structured and allow for more targeted measures, policy and planning, and give us a different, maybe not a new, but a different perspective on what works. Unfortunately, it wasn't possible today to have an individual who has used the tool and is a participant in a social inclusion and community activation programme to share their experiences with us today. But I think we all need to be extremely cognizant, and I know I'm preaching to the converted here in this room, of the need to consult with and hear the voice of the participants, the service users. And this is something that Pobal will be working with our lead department on improving over time. So just to explain a little bit about the science, about my journey, and I'm just very mindful, I'm looking at Catherine and Caroline, who could run rings around us in that regard. But the tool itself is a really simple questionnaire. I mean, those of you that will have received a copy this morning, you can have a look at it. It's suitable for anyone aged 15 years and up. It comprises 27 questions, and as Kevin has said, it measures 5 soft skill areas. So the very simple area of literacy and numeracy confidence, a really important aspect of navigating the modern Irish society. Confidence in goal setting and self-efficacy, so being able to decide what it is you want to do and how you're going to get there. Communication, supporting confidence and measuring your skills around that and what you need to develop. Connection with others, as we all know, no man is an island, and making sure that you have the social supports within your local community to achieve the very best result. And that other chestnut of general work readiness. So the wording from the questions is non-judgmental. It's written in the first person. The person answers it themselves. I feel confident enough to. And feedback from the pilot groups informed us that while the approach is gentle, it can elicit a lot of information efficiently to assist the frontline staff to plan supports with the person and draw out from the person something new which could impact on their next steps. So it really supports a very structured conversation around the destination or the journey that that person wants to take. One example from the 6-month pilots has revealed previously hidden cases where individuals have been actively hiding the fact that they have issues around numeracy and literacy, so dyslexia, for example, and the stigma associated with not being able to read and write, and how can we support that individual. The pilot groups were then able to use this information to signpost the person to the best place to go and work on that. So a very structured conversational way, a gentle way to achieve that result. It encourages, as Kevin says, self-reflection to gain a better understanding of the person's own strengths and what they're really good at and to build on them, and areas that they would like to work on further. It promotes dialogue and creates a space to acknowledge progress and reflect on any barriers that that person might feel in preventing them from achieving their personal goals or the destination that they want to go to. It's deliberately flexible, so frontline workers can work with an individual and a group in that context. It's also designed to be quickly administered because we want it to be about working with the individual rather than completing the forms, and for repeat use on a number of occasions so that an individual can track progress over time and show change and have their experience reinforced by demonstrating the progress along that. It has the potential to highlight good practice and support the sharing of learning and demonstrate programme impact. Again, strong examples from one of the pilot companies was when they used the tool, they gathered a better sense of what confidence levels were low for some of their participants. As a result, armed with this information, they could put forward proposals to their organisation to increase the supply of personal development or assertiveness programmes with a specific focus on raising confidence. Demonstrating that the tool can impact on what services are providing locally and how, and very much tailoring the programme around the information that is specific to that local area or that particular group of participants. So we will hear more about this over the course of the morning and get the perspective, the really important perspective of some of the local development companies who work so hard to pilot My Journey. Through developing new innovative tools and practices, Pobal would like to progress this aspect of our work, assisting government departments to improve the quality of service provision. My Journey sits along a number of other initiatives we include in our service offers to government under the umbrella of our lead department, the Department of Rural and Community Development. So, for example, you will all be familiar with Pobal maps, the deprivation indices, the resource allocation model, the early years sector profile report, and the geosparsity index, and I would urge you to have a look at them if you think they will be of value and use to you. There is an onus on us all of us here present in this room and outside of the room, to support my journey, and we in Pobal will continue to support its rollout for social inclusion and community activation programmes on behalf of our lead department. If the tool is not used to its full potential, I think we can all agree it is a lost opportunity for the community and voluntary sector to capture using a consistent and reliable methodology. The breadth of the work currently being undertaken to support people and communities, and to demonstrate the value of the work to local development companies and what they do every day. Finally, I will close by saying I'm really grateful to all who gave of their time and effort to this exciting project, and we will continue to work closely with the department and all the people in this room and beyond to support its rollout and learn how we can implement it into practice and embed it. So, thank you.